Welcome to another episode of Historical Facts, Disturbing or Delightful. Buckle up and get ready to decide for yourself if these facts are disturbing or delightful.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our show, where we delve into the annals of history to uncover the strange, the unsettling, and the downright fascinating. I'm your host, and today we have 3 historical tidbits that are sure to pique your curiosity and maybe even send a shiver down your spine. From creepy dolls to unsettling coincidences and the haunting remnants of a world forever changed by war, we're about to embark on a journey that's both enlightening and a tad bit eerie. So buckle up, grab your thinking caps, and maybe a nightlight, and let's get started. Okay, let's be real. Dolls are already kinda creepy, right? But what if I told you that Thomas Edison, the genius behind the light bulb and the phonograph, also created dolls that talked? Yeah, not exactly the cuddly companions you might imagine. Picture this. It's the late 1800s, and Edison, ever the innovator, decides to combine his love for technology with, well, toys. And thus, the Edison talking doll was born. Except these weren't your average playthings. These dolls were made of metal. Yes, metal. And had tiny phonographs embedded in their chests. Imagine winding up a doll and hearing it recite nursery rhymes in a voice that sounds like it's coming from the bottom of a well. Edison, perhaps aware of their slightly unsettling nature, referred to these creations as his little monsters. And honestly, who could blame him? The dolls were a commercial flop, lasting only a month on the market. But here's where things get really interesting. Some of these dolls survived the test of time. And thanks to modern technology, we can actually hear the recordings they once played. The recordings, which you can find online, are a mix of nursery rhymes and children's stories, but their distorted, almost ghostly quality gives them an undeniably eerie vibe. It's like listening to voices from another era, trapped within these metal bodies. So, disturbing or delightful, you be the judge. Our next story takes us into the realm of true crime, and it involves one of the most notorious serial killers in American history, Ted Bundy. Now, before we delve into this unsettling tale, I want to acknowledge that Bundy's crimes were horrific, and our focus here is not to glorify him, but to examine a particularly strange chapter in his life. While attending the University of Washington, Bundy, a psychology student, volunteered at a suicide hotline crisis center. Yes, you heard that right. The man who would later confess to the murders of over 30 women spent his time answering calls from people in crisis, offering them support and guidance. It's a chilling juxtaposition, isn't it? A man capable of such darkness, engaging in acts of empathy and compassion. Some speculate that Bundy's volunteer work was a way for him to gain a deeper understanding of human vulnerability, to learn how to manipulate and control those around him. During his time at the hotline, Bundy even befriended Anne Rule, a true crime writer who would later pen a best-selling biography about him. Imagine the shock and disbelief Rule must have felt when she realized that the seemingly charming and charismatic young man she knew was responsible for such unspeakable acts. Bundy's involvement in the suicide hotline remains a haunting reminder that evil often hides in plain sight, concealed beneath a veneer of normalcy. It's a stark and unsettling truth that forces us to confront the complexities of human nature. Chapter 3: Shadows of a Cataclysmic Day. Our final story takes us back to one of the darkest chapters in human history, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. While the devastating loss of life and the long-term effects of radiation are well documented, There's a lesser-known consequence of these events that's both haunting and profound. Imagine a city frozen in time, the remnants of everyday life etched onto its very surfaces. That's the legacy of the atomic shadows, ghostly imprints left behind by the intense heat and light of the blasts. When the bombs detonated, they released an unimaginable amount of energy, instantly vaporizing anything in their immediate vicinity. Objects and people caught in the path of the blast absorbed some of this energy, shielding the surfaces behind them and creating silhouettes, shadows, where they once stood. These shadows are a chilling reminder of the sheer power of the atomic bombs, a testament to the destructive force unleashed upon these cities. They serve as a stark warning to future generations, a visual representation of the horrors that can unfold when we unleash such devastating power. In the years since the bombings, some of these shadows have faded, victims of time and the elements. But others remain, preserved as memorials, solemn reminders of the lives lost and the world forever changed on those fateful days. They stand as silent witnesses to the horrors of nuclear war, urging us to strive for peace and understanding, to ensure that such devastation is never visited upon humanity again. And there you have it, 3 historical tidbits that are both thought-provoking and, let's be honest, a little bit creepy. From Edison's eerie talking dolls to the unsettling reality of Ted Bundy's volunteer work and the haunting shadows of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we've explored the darker side of history today. But remember, history is full of surprises, and even in the darkest of times, there are always stories of resilience, hope, and the enduring spirit of humanity. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious about the world around you. And be sure to join us next time for another episode of Historical Facts. Disturbing or delightful? You decide. Where we'll be venturing into the depths of Paris to uncover the secrets of the millions of skeletons that lie beneath its bustling streets. Until then, stay curious.
You've been watching Historical Facts, Disturbing or Delightful.